of Skills and Drills number 2. So this week we're going to do the German turn. So many of you will have had a go at this in the past. So what the German turn does is it creates the S line through a jump. So in this example we're going from the jump to the tunnel. Then we want the dog to take the back side of the jump, come through here and take this jump over here. Now we use a German when we want to create this S line as well as change the side that we're handling the dog from. So in this case we're handling the dog from the left to start with, then after the German we're handling the dog from the right. So we use these on course whenever we want to get an S line approach and change the side we're handling from. Now the German turn, if we think about our 7 handling elements, number 1 is motion. So again, with the motion in this case, our first part of the motion is going to be towards the wing of the jump because 1, we want the dog to take this jump from a backside approach. So again, this is where having a really well-developed backside send in your dog, an independent backside send, is going to make this move a lot easier. If you have to be right up on the wing here to get your dog to go to the backside, it makes the German much harder. So that's why we did backsides first. So hopefully you've all been practicing your backside sends so that the German is easier for you to do. So motion in this case is first towards the backside of the wing and then towards where we're going to next. So motion towards the backside of the wing, and then motion is always forward to the way we're going next. So that's motion. Number 2 is position. So the position we want here, initially, as the dog's coming out of the tunnel, we want our position to influence them to take the backside of the jump. So obviously, depending on how well your dog sends to the backside, I would be aiming to try and be at least around the middle of the bar and no further down that way, because you have to get past the wing of this jump before the dog lands. So my position is going to be roughly here as my dog's coming out. I take my step to the backside, then every step is forward. My next position, I want to be in this position next to the wing or just in front of the wing when the dog is approaching the backside and is about to take off. So my position needs to get to here before the dog takes off for the jump. And the reason we do this is because if my position is here, I'm standing on the dog's line. So if my position is here when the dog's taking off, I'm exactly where the dog wants to land. So we need to make sure that after our backside send, my position gets to here as my dog is taking the jump. That way it's open for them to come through behind me and I can do my side change and show the new line. So they're the critical point in the position, is to be past the wing of this jump before your dog takes off. So basically, you and the dog want to be on the same side of the jump here. So they're taking off and I'm already past this wing to be going forward. Now, if you think about connection, first and critically, I want to be connecting with my dog out of the tunnel. So that's the key. Connect with the dog out of the tunnel. I commit them to the back side of the jump, and then I want to look at the landing. So the dog's going to land behind me. So I want my eyes to look at the landing. That helps them take this bar even though my motion's going forward. Remember, motion will override most things, but if my eyes work in conjunction with the other parts of my body to say take the bar, they will take that bar even though I'm going this way. So connection, out of the tunnel, look at the landing, and then reconnect again after the blind. So that's connection. Number 4 is the chest. And now I'm going to talk about my chest and my hand together here. And basically my chest, my hand and my eyes with the connection work together in this move. So initially again, I take my step to the back side of the jump with my dog side leg and hand. Watching my dog, I take my step to the back side, and then I look the landing, my hand and my chest work together. So I bring the off hand up, turn my chest towards the bar, and look at the landing as I'm moving out. And then again, reconnect over my shoulder with the hand, and my chest is pointing in the direction we're going next. So if we just think about chest here, chest towards the back side, chest towards the bar as they're taking off, chest towards where we're going next. If I think about my feet next, which is number 5. So again with the feet, as my dog's coming out of the tunnel, I want to take a step to the back side of the jump. Take my step to the back side of the jump, then every other step is forward. So what people tend to do, and this is where they go wrong, is they take their step to the back side and then they back step to try and bring their dog over because they don't trust their dog to take the jump. So if you're trying to run backwards, you're not going fast. Remember, it's easier to go forward if your feet are facing forward. So we want to make sure that step to the back side, every other step is forward. Now with our hands, like I talked about with the chest, dog side hand, send to the back side, then I bring my off hand up to help the dog take the bar so that my eyes, my chest and my hand are all balancing out my motion going this way. So remember, when motion is the key point and will override most things, we have to layer those other ones up together to override the motion. So if my motion is my strongest cue going that way, then my chest, my hand and my eyes work together to say no, don't come with me, take the bar first, then you can come with me. And then the verbal, here I have a verbal for my backside send, because if you can get that little bit of independence, like if you can send to the backside from here, makes getting around this wing a lot easier. So I have my backside verbal there. So the key points in the German turn are 1, having a good independent backside send. That will make life so much easier. Number 2 is you need to get past this wing before they're taking off so that the dog can land where you want them to and you can be off their path. So this yellow line is their path. I want to make sure that I'm off that path before they're taking the jump so they continue on the yellow line and I'm just continuing on in the parallel line to that. And number 3 is my chest, my hand and my connection all work to help override my motion when I'm going forward. So I'm sending to the back side of the jump, motion is forward, chest, hand, look the landing and then keep moving. So the chest, hand and eyes work together to help the dog take the bar while you're moving out. Now, I love the German turn because it allows a nice flow on course. It allows you to get out of their road and for the dog to do the job. Now, in the teaching phases of this, if you have young dog or haven't done it before, what I tend to do, if you don't have a good backside send yet, is place the toy on the backside of the jump so that you can start to get used to sending the dog to the backside from here. They drive to the toy and you just continue on to do the handling. The next stage, especially if you're working on your own, which I do a lot, I have the toy in this hand. So if I've got my pup pod, I send to the backside, and then as I get here, I throw the toy over the bar as I'm moving. So as my dog's coming around that wing, I throw the toy and I continue on in through the handling so that the dog's being helped by taking the bar while I'm moving forward. And then the next stage, I would send to the backside, bring them over the bar and drop the toy on the line and then keep moving. So they're things you can do on your own. while you're training. If the dog's having trouble taking this slicing line, which it is a hard line, that backside slice, what you can do is put some barriers up here so that it just helps the dog take the jump while you're doing the handling. So they're all things that you can do while you're learning the technique. Now, some of the things that go wrong, there are two that tend to go wrong. One is if I have to get up here to do my backside send, and then I'm trying to get all the way across here, it's very hard to get out of the landing zone. So that's the big one that can go wrong. Number two that can go wrong is people tend to do the backside send, then they try and pull the dog over the bar with this hand. And so if I look at this and I'm trying to pull my dog over, you can see my chest is still going forward, my motion's still going forward, and the only thing that's helping the dog take that bar is his hand. And so if you think about our hierarchy of handling elements, motion's going forward, my chest is going forward, my feet are going forward, my eyes are forward. So if I'm doing all of those things, the only thing to counteract that is the hand. Whereas in my example, motion's going forward, my feet are going forward, so there's two on that side. My chest, my hand, my eyes are all saying take the jump. So I've got three handling cues saying take the bar, while two are saying go forward. So that's how we even that out. Now, a lot of people have trained the dog to come to this hand, and that's fine, but I would like you to practice using the chest to get the turn, because if you get some really hard approach Germans, then you want to be able to change your chest to help them take the bar. Now, the other thing with this is to trust your dog, especially if you're at the stage that they can do this move. I want to see you really trying to get out of there as quickly as you can. So I haven't run the Germans with my dogs for a while, so this will be interesting. But mostly I try and get to here as they're taking the jump, so that by the time they're landing, I'm almost at this jump here. So that's the sort of distance that you can get on the German, which is why I love it, because your dog's doing all the work and you're being able to show them where to go next, and they can go that way nice and fast and chase you. So happy training. I want you to just remember, independent backside send, position, position, position. Make sure you pass that wing before they're taking off, and use your chest, your hand and your eyes to help the dog take the bar. So if you've got any questions, please let me know, and I can't wait to see your videos. Thanks, guys.